Hello my Logians and welcome back to another fabulous episode here on my channel. We're going to be talking about the books I want to read in December. I know I keep doing these videos and never posting them. I'm very sorry, but December is a very important month. I have several weeks that I'm off, and so I'm trying to get done with all the books that I really want to get to this month. I'm going to start out with the books I have physically, so we can go through those really fast, and then I'm going to talk about the books that I want to read, audiobook, or books that I don't have like an actual physical copy of. That say anything? Alright, the first book I want to continue on with the series in which we're going to just shout the Harry Potter series, but I have one of the books that we're going to hold up while I talk about it. So the beginning of the month, December 1st, I finished Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I read it all month that's the only book I finished, the only book I read in November, so that's why there's no wrap up for November, by the way. But I finished it, and I was like, we gotta continue on with the series, and I'm taking a class next semester. I'll hold over here. I'm taking a class next semester over Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince. I've never read them before. I'm enjoying my experience while reading them. I'm listening to them on audiobook while reading along sometimes while just, taking a minute and, reading through it. I really, really do enjoy them, and I have to finish the whole series this month. So stay tuned for a Harry Potter readathon, maybe? We will see. I have a feeling the week of Christmas, I kind of want to do one. So it's a very possibility that I might be doing a Harry Potter announcement readathon. I think there might be already one going on, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I'll have to look throughout some booktube stuff. But the goal is to read Harry Potter Order of Phoenix, Harry Potter Half-Blood Prince, and Harry Potter Deathly Hallows, and watch their movies. The book is What If It's Us by Becky Artali and Adam Severa. As you guys do know, I'm doing a whole video for this book alone where I'm going to start pinning things, like my favorite moments, cute moments, and things like that. I'm really, really excited to read this. I'm just a big fan of the novel in general. I've enjoyed what I read so far, can't wait to finish it. I have about 300 to 400 less pages, but I'm going through some moments in my life right now where the story is just, it's a little too happy. So we're going to push it off. This could be a January read, but it's on this list because I want to see if I can get done with it before I can make my top 18 list. Traffic by Ellen Hopkins, which I do know came out in 2017, but I got it this year, and I also want to read it to see if it makes my list. It's the only new Ellen Hopkins that I'm reading this year. I didn't want to read the one about the shooting, so we're just going to go with this one. I did not like her book before this, so I've been really nervous to get into the conclusion between Tricks and Traffic. It's a duology, and I'm so super excited, so I am planning on picking it up to read it because I want to know where it stands. And that is Rabbit and Robot. I was also planning on doing another read, like a read with me type thing where I'm blogging my whole experience while reading this. But I decided to not do that and just read it for myself and then tell you guys at the end of the month how I feel, or at the beginning of next month how I feel about it. This is by Andrew Smith. Oh, I've not explained to you what any of these books are. Okay. Well, I'll explain this one, and then going forward we'll explain what the books are. So this, I'll explain what the next one. I don't honestly know what this book is about. I don't know. One is Winger by Andrew Smith. This is my second reread of this book. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I'm enjoying it. I'm planning on annotating it this time around so I can do a review over it because I think this deserves a review. I think everybody should read it at least once in their life. It's like one of my favorite books, so I think everybody should read my favorite books. Sorry. Am I saying that loud? Okay. But Children of Blood and... Oh, gosh. Dang it. There's another one. I'm not getting it. I'll put the picture on the screen. Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Ayeti. I am like 100 pages in, I think, actually, to this novel. I love it. I just have a hard time picking it back up. Like, when I sit down, I actually read it. I read like 50 pages like at a time, but I have a hard time picking it back up. It's so weird. But I will have a vlog coming out where I read this to you with you guys, and it's gonna be full of spoilery comments. There's 3 of these that I'm doing, by the way. So just be looking out for those. When I get done with them, they'll go updated. So last year, I read Call Me By Your Name at the very, very end of the year. I think I finished it the day before New Year's Eve, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Could be a few days before that. I want to reread it, but listen to the audiobook with Armie Hammer this month, and I want to go through it and pin some of my favorite moments so I can do a book review about it as well. The movie is just as phenomenal. They just cut out partially of the ending so they could make a sequel, which is really stupid. But I have my own opinions about that. I might talk about in the review itself. But it's very, very short. I did read it. I loved it. It's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite books of all time for several reasons, and I wanted to get into that, but I have to reread it, and I figured that way I can recommend the audiobook or not recommend the audiobook. Yeah, so that's something that I'm planning on picking up this month as well. And then every book forward will be popping up on the screen by Marissa Meyer. This is the last book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I'm listening to this on audiobook this month. I just started the audiobook. I love it. It's one of my favorite audiobook series, but I want to finish it out so I can put whichever one of my favorites on my top 18 list. I'm not really sure. I think Crest right now, but Winter could pull in and get the #1 spot. I'm not sure. It's one of my favorite series, soon to be one of my favorite series of all time. It's not really like, it didn't change my life, but I don't know, it's like one of those series that I'm gonna think. City of Glass by Cassandra Clare, and the appreciation that the new last book, I think, of Shadowhunters comes out this month. I will be reading the 3rd book in the Shadowhunters series of 6, and then we'll move on. I'm just going to continue reading them over the next year or so. Moving on with City of Glass, which is book 3. City of Ashes, I thought was a much better book than the first one, so I'm very excited to continue to move forward. We have Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 10, and hopefully part of Season 11, Saga, which is Volume 5 and 6, I'm hoping to get to. Maybe even catch up with that. That's my December TBR. It's very big, it's very massive, and it's only because I have, like, a lot of time. This is, like, the first month that I get to kind of, like, chill back and actually get to read, and I kind of want to chill back and actually read, so that's the plan. And I'll talk to you guys soon. So guys, if you like this video, please leave a big fat thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys all next time. But I'll be a whole video. And of course, what are you reading this month? Let me know in the comments down below. Alright, talk to you soon.